So we have marketing catalog, so we can directly sync all of our product information to use for campaigns. So press continue setup, and this will allow Shopify to create a TikTok Business Center account to access your store manager, business page, and product catalog all in our place. Usually on TikTok, you would have to use their business center. So you're using the TikTok website to manage everything inside of their platform, right? With the Shopify app, we can sync it so tightly with the TikTok platform, we basically don't need to go on TikTok's website. We can manage it all from our Shopify dashboard from this app. That's what makes this so lucrative, because we can just do everything in Shopify, which allows us to stop shifting our attention elsewhere and having so many different tabs open at the same time, right? So press create over here, and then it says approve access to your TikTok ads manager account. In order to connect to this business center account, you'll need to approve admin access to the connected TikTok ads manager account. So when we set up the TikTok pixel, we created an ads account. We're basically approving access over here, so press approve. And now, as you can see, this is linked our business center account. Then we go into marketing catalog locations. So we add countries or locations and regions where your ads for your products will appear. You can update this in your settings later. So we can change this later, so this isn't too important, but from here we can change all this information, right? Now, as you can see where it says pending, this is currently pending because my ads account is actually in review, so that's why I can't select these. So you can also select United States, but you can't change the default location once you set this up, right? So you would select your location down here. For the default location, this is also dependent on your TikTok ads account, right? For the most part, it's going to work like this. If you have an account which is binded to an IP address or a phone number in a certain country, so if you're in the United Kingdom, you're going to probably have access to only the UK and the European market, whereas if you're in the US, you'll most likely only have access to the United States. Now, for the most part, United States is going to be the biggest portion of your customers. That's the highest commercial market, or the most dense commercial market to take advantage of in e-commerce, right? Especially the dropshipping scene. Europe's also a pretty big market too, but we can't change this unless you make an account in that region, I'm pretty sure, or at least I haven't tried that in the past, okay? They might have changed that now though. But as you can see, the only available one is United States right now, so I'm going to wait until this account gets reviewed before I continue the setup for that. But we could go ahead and also press United States, as long as we also can ship there as well. Now, additional regions, we can also access additional locations on here if we select them as well. So I'm going to press confirm now that we've selected the United States by default, and now we can press finish setup, okay? So the only thing now left for us to do is to actually create a marketing campaign, because we've set up the pixel by this point, and we've also set up the marketing catalog locations. So everything in that regard is actually set up so far. Now, one thing to note is in the TikTok Ad Center, and also more specifically in this situation in the Shopify app for TikTok, if we scroll down, we have recommended guides over here. So make sure to leverage this, guys, if you have any difficulties with any of these steps. They have a guide on setting up TikTok marketing, and also gives you some more information about the TikTok pixel, which is also helpful as well. And also success stories. So we can have a look at some success stories from e-commerce and also from this beauty store, for an example. And it shows the kind of traffic which some of these biggest brands have actually got from advertising on TikTok. So if you're just generally interested in business stuff, that's just generally going to be a good read, right? And there's also some additional guides if we press this arrow here to the right, and we have how to set up conversion ads, and also the creative best practices to optimize those creative conversion ads, okay? So really great information here. We can also contact campaign managers to get some additional information, which is obviously going to be free, as you can see over here. That's because we're spending money on the ad platform, so that's going to be mutually beneficial. I want to receive my $100 ad credit. Now, I mentioned this earlier. Basically right now, this is very situational, so the likelihood of when you watch this video is probably not going to be available, right? Unless you're an early bird. But right now they have a promotion. Sometimes TikTok does this on the ads platform. We have $100 free credit. It says, did you know that 77% of TikTok users have bought something they discovered on TikTok? Showcase your products to the right audience in time for holiday shopping and take advantage of this limited time offer. Get started by spending $20 and instantly earn an additional $100 credit. Now, this is confusing because they have GBP, because I'm obviously originally from the UK, and they also have dollars. So I don't know if I'm getting £100 or $100. It's kind of confusing, but that's pretty cool. If we go into settings over here, we can have a look at our settings. A lot of this is going to be blurred, guys, so I don't give away sensitive information, but I'm going to try and explain it as best as I can visually based on what I'm seeing. for the things which I can't show. So under settings, we can set up marketing campaigns from here. It shows us our ads manager account, which we can also disconnect. A payment method. At the start, you're gonna have a missing payment method. I'd recommend clicking on that button, going through the steps and setting up your own payment method. This is usually going to be with your debit card, or if you have a company credit card, you can also use that as well. Okay, I'm not going to go in depth information on borrowing money and using credit cards. I'm going to make videos on that in the future, but if you know what you're doing, use whichever card or bank account you're intending to spend money on. Now under targeting locations, select the information on the location where your customers are, and TikTok will deliver users in those locations to help maximize your budget. Now this is interesting because I selected United States before, right? But it's actually set it to UK because I guess since I created my account in the UK originally on a British phone number, which is the same phone number which I use internationally in different countries as well as in Europe, right? Since my phone number is from the UK originally, then I am obviously bound to the UK, but we can also go ahead and tick a few of these. So I can tick Austria, and then I can tick other countries too, like Belgium, Czechia, Denmark, Egypt, Finland, etc. So this is where you change your targeting locations. UK is going to be fine for now because you can also select United States. Depends on the market. We can go to product catalog. So here's where we manage settings for our synced product catalog. So as you can see, the default location we selected before, the country or region that we're primarily targeting, which will be used to display product sync statuses in your TikTok channel overview, is United States. And we can also add selections here. So for marketing, it probably would be quite smart for me to select United States here, but I can't because I didn't sign up with a US phone number. So in product catalog, it's obviously going to market it to a different country than what's actually available to me. Okay, so I'd recommend selecting those two as the same, otherwise it may not be as optimal. Data sharing, we can change this. When we set up our pixel, we selected maximum. We're going to leave it at maximum because we want the most data. And under accounts, we have the accounts we've originally binded, so the TikTok business account, the TikTok business center account, and we can also disconnect them or reconnect new accounts. Help center is going to be some pretty useful resources on creating campaigns, information about conversions, the ad spend budget, and more information here. So if you have a question on this segment of the course or in this video, refer to the help center on the TikTok app and the business center first to see if you can find your answer. If not, I'll try and help you in the comments below as soon as possible. So now we're ready to create a campaign and start our first campaign, right? So this is how to create TikTok ads. Now, usually you're going to press create campaign here on this button, but since there's a promotion right now, I'm going to press create campaign up here because I want to claim my free money, because who doesn't, right? So here we are now on the ad campaign creation screen. So this is the exciting part where we launch our first ad campaign on the TikTok platform. So first, let's talk a little bit about ads, okay? Let's discuss ads, what we need first, and also gloss over the whole ad creatives part, because if you haven't covered that yet and you don't have ads, you can't move on to this section or progress onto this section. So let's first discuss that. So we're going to discuss ads first. So I want to take you to this website. I may have shown you this in some other videos before which I've created. This is the TikTok ads exploration page on the TikTok Creative Center. This is going to be one of your best resources to look at competitor ads, check how well they're performing, and also try and create your own ads or original user generated content based on those ads performance, right? So on here, we can have a look at trendy searches. We can click shop now. We can also search by a few different keywords, phrases, and search by niches in the search bar. We can also search directly by the name of a brand, and we can filter it by a country, an industry, the objective. So what's the objective of the ad campaigns that we're having a look at in our research? Do they want to have app installs if they're promoting some kind of Google Play app or iOS store app? Do they want conversions, which is also useful? Do they want to have lead generation, product sales, which is what we want? Or do they want to generate reach or traffic for some other reason? What's the percentage of likes? What's the duration of the creative? And also we can filter by the recent days. So usually you're looking at the last 30 days or the last 7 days, so 1 to 4 weeks, because then you can see what's performing well right now. Obviously we're currently in Q4. I'm recording this in December, so we're on the lead up till Christmas. We've just gone past Black Friday and we're leading on to Cyber Monday. So if we're having a look at things in the last 7 days, we can have a look at Black Friday, which was basically yesterday for me when I'm recording this. So that will show the ads which were performing well yesterday, leading up till Monday. They will still probably be doing quite well. And the 7 to 30 days region is going to be good right now because we're going to see what's going to be effective during Christmas. So this is a really good resource. So if you haven't created an ad yet, or if you want to have a look at competitors and you're not at the stage yet, use use the TikTok Creative Center. There was originally nothing like this on Facebook. You had to use tools like AdSpy. TikTok are giving us this for free, so take advantage of it. We can also download ads here. I don't know if the ad creators who posted them would like that, but we can download ads. We can use that for reference. We can create a folder full of competitor ads for our product and just have it on our computer. This is really cool. Let's say I had some kind of LED light that I was selling, okay? And I want to sell an LED light and I don't know how to advertise it. Well, LED lights, so many people are trying to sell those. I could go ahead and I could download all these videos, which you don't want to do. You want to download the ones that perform well. And then I've got so many ideas on what to actually create. I can play them and see how people are making these videos, why some of them perform well and why some of them don't. It's just like on YouTube when you use analytics to try and make content better. We're using the same strategy here, guys. So use this to your advantage and have a look. When we hover over it, we have the likes, the comments, the shares, and the duration period. We can also click on any of these as well. And we also have the reach over here. We can sort it by reach. We can sort it by click-through rate. We can sort it by the 2-second views rate and the 6-second views rate, okay? So take advantage of this. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to click on any of these random ads just to give you an example of what these pages look like. So on these pages, we can view the regions which they're set to. So this is basically all regions of the world, which I don't know how they've done that, but we have a lot of regions here. The industry, hyper casual, the objective. So this is an advert. This is very similar to those like Mafia City ads that used to play back in the day. We have the source and just general metrics data. But the thing which we're interested in most is this graph over here, because this graph allows us to see some interesting data. So we have CTR, which is click-through rate. This is pretty useful. Each data point compares the relative volume against the peak volume of the entire video. A value of 100 is the peak for the video. CTR is calculated by the number of clicks divided by the number of impressions. So click-through rate is going to be useful. We have the CVR here. So CVR is our conversion rate. That's what it stands for. So CVR is calculated by the number of conversions divided by the number of clicks. We can also see the clicks here. So that's self-explanatory, the clicks per second. We have the conversion, so the number of conversions for that second in the video, and the remain, which is the number of users still watching at that particular second in the graph. So we've got data to actually see how well the video is edited and how that impacts on the audience too, which is also pretty useful for ads. So I just wanted to mention that, guys, because that's super useful. If you need to do ads research, if you haven't created your ad yet, or if you want to track the performance of competitor ads, this is how you do it. That was a little bit off topic for the creation of a campaign, but it's crucial information not everyone is actually showing you. Okay, so let's move on to actually creating our ad. Now, one thing to know is when we create an ad in the TikTok ad campaign creator, we have the video creative over here, which is what we're going to be using. Now, if you don't have an ad creative, basically the ad video to show on TikTok, if you haven't created one yourself, or if you haven't had one professionally made, that's going to be a problem. So you need to do that first. If you want to have a professional ad made, I recommend either learning video editing and creating one, and it has to be a vertical ad, or I have a website which is linked in the description down below, majorwolf.co.uk. Click in the description below, and if you need an ad created for TikTok, you can go on that website and you can order a TikTok ad creative to be made for your product for your campaign. So if you need ads creating and you don't know where to go on my website and we can get that sorted out for you quickly and also fairly cheaply. So if you have problems with ads, guys, go on my website. We can get you hooked up with video ads. So let's get started. So activity name, we're going to leave this for now because this is going to be based on what we do after. So over here, what we want to do is select single product. Okay. Then we want to select the product which we want to promote. Now I'm promoting the product over here, which yet again, I'm going to blur out as much of this as I can. Select your product you're promoting. Since we sync this to our Shopify store, it will naturally just give us the products directly here. Then we can also upload an ad creative over here under the video creative section. Now we can click generate videos, create videos based on product information, but this isn't really that good. It's not very impactful. You want an ad creative made. Like I said, you can get one on my website. You can buy an ad creative on there. If not, you can make one yourself, but you really want to have a custom ad creative here. Don't use the AI generator because it's probably not going to get you very good conversions and sales. Press upload if you've already got a video, and here you're going to drag files off your computer to upload. Select which video you want to upload. I have 3 different ad creatives made, so I'm going to select the one which I want to use, and then it will upload it to the TikTok server so we can start configuring it in our campaign editor, right? So just wait for it to upload, and once it's uploaded, we can get to customizing the ad itself. So now when it says ready, just press upload. Then it will use this inside our campaign, and we can continue. Now we have a preview on the right hand side. This is where you can preview the actual ad itself so we can see what it looks like, and that will allow you to preview it and show you what users will actually see when they see your ad. Okay, so that's important. Add text for all. This is the text of the ad over here. Okay, so we can customize this, and you can can press use the same ad text for all. So basically, this will configure the text shown in your ad. Now, the useful information to actually realize is not everyone actually really pays attention to the captions on these. They're mainly paying attention to the video. So if you have a terrible creative, or if the ad is not configured to direct directly to your product, you're not going to get a sale. If your video is on point, you can usually get away with a poor caption, right? You can also go under advanced settings. This is where you can change the display name. So on TikTok, basically, if you didn't know, the ads kind of look like they've been posted by a user, which is why they work so well. So we have the display name over here, which makes it look like a real profile, like a user generated it. And you can also select a profile image. So I'd recommend this profile image being your actual brand's logo. So if you have a brand logo, upload that as your profile image, and then you have a profile image over there, so it actually looks fairly legit. If you leave that blank, if it's connected to your TikTok account, it should use your TikTok accounts. But if you're just using the TikTok ad center, then it might not use your personal profiles account or your brand profiles account. So just select that in here. We're going to go back up to the caption in a few moments. Next up is targeting. Under gender, for the most part, you can press no limit unless it's targeted to a specific gender under your demographic. Now, my product is very female gender heavy, so I'm going to select female because for the most part, this is like a female product. So unless someone's boyfriend or partner would buy it for a girl, it's going to be girls buying it for the most part. So I'm going to target this as a female audience. Now, age, what I'd recommend selecting is where it says no limit, uncheck this. Do everything from 18 to 55 plus. Now, the reason we want to do this is nobody under the age of 18 really has any money. I don't want to sound offensive, but for the most part, people under 18 are all broke. They don't really have any money. They're just cheap or they're poor. So basically, if you target people who are younger than 18, you're not going to be able to sell products because they just have no money. They're absolutely skint. So I recommend not selecting that. Select everything from 18 to 55 plus, okay? That's going to perform the best because they actually have money to spend, okay? Selecting under 18 is just going to spread your campaign over too large of a demographic and it's not going to increase the performance. We want to make this more targeted, okay? And that's still a generalization, 18 to 55. It's not really an age-related product, which I'm actually fronting over here. So I'd recommend just selecting 18 to 55. That's the best generic coverage for people who have money. Then we have behavior. So you can target video-related actions under here. For an example, we can target likes, commented, shared, or watched to the end. I'm not going to target any of these. This is advanced. For location, this is where you're targeting, right? So over here, I basically have all these European locations. So I have Austria, Belgium, Czechia, Denmark, Egypt, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Korea, Kuwait, Morocco, Netherlands, Poland. You get the idea, right? I'm just going to select all because we're going to target all of them. If you only have the United States, target just the United States. I'm just targeting as much of Europe as I can. Now, optimization event, you want to select complete payment here. That's very important. That's the event we're optimizing for in the app, okay? So remember to select that. Then we have daily budget. So the daily budget is usually, I think the minimum is like £20, right? So the usual minimum is going to be $20 or £20, and we can scale that up as we see some kind of success. So the less you spend, obviously, the less coverage you're going to have for your ad campaign, lower your ad spend. You're going to scale up your ad campaigns more, the more people we want to reach and the more sales we want to get. Naturally, over time, if we see some good statistics, right? Now for schedule, this is going to be when you're running your ads. So right now it's the 26th and it's going to give us the time. I'd recommend running this at midnight. Okay, so if I want to run this on the 27th, I click 27th and I scroll up and it's like 00 and then 00 and then also, you guessed it, 00. The reason I'm doing this is because I want the ad spend to start at the very beginning of the next day, leading up till the end of this day, and then throughout the full 24 hours of that day, so I get the maximum performance out of that ad, and then I can naturally track it as soon as the day following obviously comes, okay? So I'd recommend select the 12 a.m. period of the day you want to start the ad campaign, just so it can start immediately. That's recommended. I'd recommend selecting run continuously until we obviously cancel the campaign. Then we have the bid strategy, okay? So your choice of bidding strategy will help the system achieve your expected delivery outcomes. So lowest cost gets the most results out of our budget. That's the most optimized, and it adjusts your bid to get the most results at the lowest cost per result. So this is the optimized default, which we probably want to select, okay? Cost per result may rise when you increase your budget. The cost cap controls your cost per result. The system will work to keep your actual cost per result around your provided bid, your budget may not be spent efficiently. So I'd recommend just selecting lowest cost. It's the most optimized. You can test out both, but I recommend just leave it on default here, guys. So we've selected the schedule when we want it to begin. We've selected our daily budget of ad spend. Obviously, lifetime you can select. I wouldn't recommend that for the budget, especially if you're starting with a small amount of money, or if you don't know how you're going to manage your money for your future ad campaign. I wouldn't do a lifetime budget unless you can consistently leave it on repeatedly to spend whatever amount you may do. I just recommend selecting daily. I'm going to select the minimum budget right now, which is $20, but currently we have a promotion for 2 weeks for $100 additional budget, which we can use too. Going back to location, which I didn't mention earlier, remember all of these European countries and other countries we're going to select, not all of them speak English, guys. That's one thing to note. You can untick certain countries. Now, for an example, I've been to Turkey quite a few times. I love Turkey, but a lot of people in Turkey don't speak English. So I'm going to untick that specifically because my ad is in English, and obviously that might actually affect my bottom line. Then we have other countries too. So we have UAE, they speak really good English, but I'm not sure if I want to sell to every single country on the board. So you can go ahead and untick certain countries over here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to untick all of these countries here, and I'm going to manually select the countries which I want to actually fence my products to. You can select whichever countries you want to do. I'm going to manually select some countries which I want to sell to, mainly in Europe and around the United Kingdom. So I've selected my locations. I've narrowed it down to 4 different locations. This is really custom to you. I'd recommend first just selling it in your single native country. For an example, I could sell it in one country. I'm going to select these countries over here. I know that they speak really good English, and I know that Ireland is also pretty close to the UK as well. So we have Austria, Germany, Ireland, and UK. I'd recommend narrowing that down to one country at the start to test it out. That's recommended. So now we've basically optimized our ad, unless you want to change the behavior section. So we are creating a conversion ad here, guys. So that's why you're not seeing different optimization options, because by default in the Shopify app is going to be a conversion based ad campaign. Landing page type is most of all going to be the single product, remember. Ad text over here is going to be the text for your different ads. So I've uploaded 3 different ad variations which you can do, which will basically alternate the different videos. This is going to be kind of experimental because you're going to be seeing the performance of each different ad, how they perform differently to each other, and then eventually when you see one performing really well, you're going to optimize the ad to only display one, which is the best one that works, right? So I have 3 different ads. I'm here just to test out this product. I've just got some ad creatives made and I want to test which work the best. So I'm going to run all 3. So you can select the ad text for each of these. I'm going to blur this, of course. The ad text doesn't really matter so much on TikTok. It's mainly your creative, like I said earlier, but I'd recommend at least just write a basic sentence and put a bit of thought into it at least, okay? So I'm going to go through and create the different texts. You could also tick use the same ad text for all, which I'm going to do because I don't want a different ad text per video, and then I'm going to continue the process. Now after this is all finished, guys, we want to create an activity name. This is going to be the name of the campaign. I'm going to type in the name of my product. I'm going to type in some information just generally around the ad campaign. For my activity names, I basically just call it the name of the product, what the kind of landing page type is going to be, what the gender demographic is and their age, and also the location, and that's the name of my ad campaign. Kind of confusing, kind of random, but just so I know what I'm doing. So after you first create your ad campaign, you're going to have to set up a payment method. If you haven't set up one earlier, when we set up the TikTok app, this is where you're going to do it. So I'm going to select a credit card. So from this point on, I'm going to blur the screen and we're going to jump ahead. Basically, you enter your credit card here and you'll be charged £5 to verify it, which is refunded to you when you verify it, okay? This is just to prevent bots from accessing the platform or to kind of prevent stolen credit card use on TikTok, as far as I'm concerned. You can also use PayPal as well. PayPal, I believe, doesn't incur the charge, so you can use PayPal as well. Most people have PayPal. Most people won't want to use the card, but for the most part, it's safe. So I'm going to use my card. You enter which payment method you're comfortable the most with using, where you hold the most money, and where your ad money is going to be spent, and then we can move on. It'll basically say allow pop-ups and redirects in your browser first once you finish this process. So make sure your browser has enabled those, because otherwise you're going to have a problem, guys, when pop-ups don't show, or if you have some kind of ad blocker or plugin, which may mess up the process. So make sure that's fixed first, then press confirm. button. After that, it will have a security prompt and open up a new window, and you basically have to leave this open to process your payment and verify you. Then it will say creating ads, which means you finish your ad campaign, and it'll say success, your ad has been created and will be reviewed in 12 hours. And from there, it will redirect us back onto the Shopify campaigns manager. So from in here, we can view our campaign. So we have untitled campaign. We can see the results based on the sessions, the orders, the sales, and the cost. We can see when we created it and the general campaign summary. We can also edit the campaign activity, and it says it's still in review, and we can add new activities under here. So an activity would be things like Shopify email, TikTok conversion ads, etc. We've already added the TikTok conversion ad here. We can rename the campaign. I'm going to rename the campaign name to the same name as my conversion ad, which we just created. We can archive it. We can also delete it from here too. So now you've created your first TikTok ads campaign. Once it's been reviewed, everything will get rolling and you can start monitoring your ads performance, and you should start seeing some sales hopefully in Shopify if your ad creative is optimized well and if your website's optimized well as well. Make sure that your ad is being targeted to the locations and regions which your Shopify store is actually set to make sales from. If your payment processor can only take payments from the United Arab Emirates, but TikTok is targeting Denmark, it's just not going to work, okay? Make sure your payment processor and your TikTok ad targeting is targeted at the right process, and everything should be fine. Now, the funny thing is TikTok are really on the ball, because you can see that my TikTok campaign is already scheduled. It's already been approved. It literally got approved in 1 or 2 minutes, probably by some AI bot or some system, which will check to make sure your ad contains things which obviously aren't breaking TOS. So this campaign has been approved and scheduled, okay? So this is scheduled for the 27th at 12 a.m., which we set it for. Rest assured, the campaign will be scheduled. So when we press back, we can see our campaigns. So this one has a cost of 0 and sales of 0 right now, 0 sessions. We can see the campaign activity and all the information here once it starts rolling. I'll try to remember to show you some sales data once this is actually run for a day or two. Remember guys, after 1 to 3 days of running your ads, you'll be able to receive enough data to realize if this campaign is worth pursuing, if you need to make any edits or amends to increase the performance and hopefully get more sales, okay? So don't run this for more than maybe 2 or 3 days. You need 1 to 3 days to collect enough data usually, or for the system to actually catch up and provide data. But after that period, if it's not working, cut the cord, okay? And make edits where necessary or change your strategy. You don't want to spend any money that's not necessary if things aren't working. So now we've created an ad campaign. Now we've set up TikTok Pixel. Now you should be able to get some sales. If you don't get any sales, if things aren't going the way that you expected it to, you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to look at, was the product not a winning product? Was the ad creative not impactful enough? Was the caption of the ad itself bad? Am I targeting the wrong countries? Do the people not even speak English that I'm actually targeting? All these things need to be taken into consideration. So do your due diligence, but now you've created your first campaign, and now we can look at the data and then optimize it accordingly. If you have any problems with the ads creation process, any issues with the ads and the performance, leave those comments below or go on TikTok's help center. And if you need help with creating ads for your dropshipping campaign, ad creatives, go on my website, which is linked in my YouTube description, and you can buy ad creatives over there. Thanks for watching.